Jungkook's mansion was drowned in silence. The guard stations outside kept their steps as quiet as possible. But as the owner, the Mafia Lord, who held the underground ward in the palm of his hand, stepped further towards his room, he heard loud music. The closer he stepped towards his room, the louder the music turned. His tensed muscles relaxed a little, the earlier workload releasing his body, and the darkness in his eyes got replaced by something warm. It was definitely his wife, enjoying her time. He stepped into the room quietly and found Vine holding a little piece of mirror in her hand, a makeup brush in her other hand. Her hair were tied up with rollers as she twirled round dancing to the song, while, half done with her makeup, a smile appeared on her lips, and Vine stopped reflecting her own cheerful smile. Vine, oop, hi baby. She skipped towards him happily, wrapping her arms around his neck, still holding onto her things, and pecked his lips. Jungkook, hi there, beautiful. Jungkook, I brought something for you. From behind his back, he revealed a bouquet of the most exquisite roses, their fragrance filling the room. Vian, so pretty! She exclaimed happily, taking the roses, and actually tossed her things into his hands, which he held for her securely. Jungkook, but wait, there's more. He presented a small box wrapped in velvet. Vine opened it to find a delicate necklace, a symbol of his devotion. She didn't say anything, but her face screamed it all. How much she loved it, and how much she loved him. He stepped behind her and fastened the necklace, leaving a kiss on the back of her neck. She trailed her fingers over the jewel while holding the roses with her other hand, looking like a rose herself. She called it Jungkook effect. He took care of her and spoiled her with love and affection. How did she get so lucky to get a man like him? A man worth dreaded, a man who caused destruction, yet for her, he was her savior and her lover. Jungkook, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Take your time. They can wait. She giggled. It was wrong, but he put her at the top. He disappeared in the washroom, and she continued her makeup. They were going to an event tonight where high profile mafias and gangsters were going to appear. Yet, she loved the fact how even the dangerous men were scared of her husband. Jungkook, dressed in a black tailored suit that hugged his body well, radiating an aura of authority, while Ryan, draped in an elegant red gown, reflected grace and elegance. They entered the grand hall, his protective arm around her waist, marking his territory. A hush fell over the place comprised of dangerous man and woman. The atmosphere tensed, and eyes turned towards Jungkook. Ryan, however, walked by his side with confidence. Her presence, the softer side of formidable figure. She kept her graceful smile and almost chuckled when she heard some whispers about how dangerous her husband was. Despite the murmurs, Jungkook's focus remained on wine. He led her through the crowd and met a few people involving her in the conversation as well. Wine. Jungkook, can we sit over there? Jungkook, of course, love. Whatever you desire. He guided her to a reserved table, the best view in the room. As they settled in, Jungkook signaled for the finest champagne, ensuring Wine's glass was never empty. Guests exchanged uneasy glances, observing the unique contrast between the feared Mafia Lord and his enchanting wife. Jungkook's attention to Wine's every detail, from the way he held her chin to the subtle glances, contrasted sharply with his deadly reputation. They stayed together most of the time, yet in between, Jungkook ended up in a circle of men. Wine felt awkward and decided to take a walk around. Soon enough, she started getting bored and went back to her husband, who was busy. As she approached, the men got quiet. They knew who she was and wouldn't make a mistake to speak against her. Wine, excuse me, she said politely before she turned towards her husband. Wine, baby, let's take pictures. She held his arm. Jungkook placed his glass of drink down on the table and stood up, leaving the conversation right there without a problem or hesitation. He didn't mind it as long as she wanted it. It was not the kind of event to do something like that. They were the only ones taking pictures, yet their couple reflected such power and beauty no one could deny. Angel against the devil, the perfect example of the beauty and the beast. Ryan, do you mind if we leave early? I'd like to spend more time with you. Jungkook, not at all, my love. Anything you want. Wine, and I want to eat burgers. Jungkook, how and why is it not ice cream? This is concerning. She laughed. He knew her so well. She saw the pictures they clicked and showed him her favorite one. Jungkook, how about this? He swiped to the next one, where she was laughing, with those sparkly eyes he fell for. Ryan, look at those big teeth on display. Nope, nope. She pressed to delete the pic, and Jungkook took the phone out of her hand, putting it in his pocket, before he picked her up in his arms, bridal style. Jungkook, I'm getting it framed beside our wedding picture. She wrapped her arms around his neck instantly to keep her balance. Ryan, hey, no! She went, and he only smirked in return, walking out of the venue, ignoring the stairs like he ignored their existence. All that mattered to him was the lady in his arms. The thought of keeping her safe and making sure she felt loved was all that on his mind as he kissed her forehead and both of them left to have some dinner.